and thank you for joining us from all over the world. Though we wish you could be here in person, we're glad that you could join us virtually to see our vision for the future of work. We built Asana to help teams work together effortlessly, and teams are at the center of everything we do. Whether it's developing drugs to promote global health, building a path to a criminal justice system that's more equitable, or turning a passion into a business, when teams work together, there's nothing that they can't accomplish. I want to acknowledge where we find ourselves today. We're faced with a global pandemic that has had acute impacts on our daily lives. And for many of us, work no longer takes place in an office, but in our homes, isolated from our teams. We know that it's team collaboration that will help move us forward. Today, we're excited to share our vision for the future of Asana and how we will help teams work together more effectively than ever before. Let's start off by going back to our beginning. My co-founder Justin and I started thinking about the idea behind Asana while we were at Facebook. We were both consistently shocked and frustrated by how difficult it was to coordinate our teams. To help everyone track their responsibilities, we built a work management system called Tasks. Almost immediately after introducing Tasks, everyone got much more on the same page about our plans. The time spent on coordination itself dropped off a cliff, and everyone moved forward with much more confidence and clarity about what they needed to do. We recognized that team clarity was a universal problem, and so we founded Asana to bring the solution to the rest of the world. We launched our commercial product in 2012, and we've been growing quickly ever since. Asana has been used by millions of people in 190 different countries. Effective team collaboration requires content, communications, and coordination. Though many companies have invested in content and communication tools, coordination has often been left unaddressed. That's where Asana comes in. Now let's talk about the problem that we're working to solve. Teams today spend more time coordinating work than actually doing it. Our survey of 10,000 knowledge workers showed that the average person spends most of their time, 60%, coordinating work, doing things like searching through emails, writing long status updates, or attending meetings. And with all this work about work, they only have 40% of their time left to spend on the actual work they were hired to do. Imagine how much faster teams could move if we could increase that percentage. Team clarity is the very foundation that drives businesses forward. But it's hard to achieve even in normal circumstances, and it's especially difficult in times like these. The ideal state we're working to create for our customers is what we call the pyramid of clarity. We built this pyramid from the bottom up, starting with tasks and projects so that everyone could have clarity on who's doing what by when. We provide different views like boards, lists, calendar, timeline, and more, so that every individual can view the work in the way that is most useful for them. And teams can automate processes to reduce manual work. Moving up the pyramid, portfolios give leaders a real-time view of the important initiatives across their teams. But it's an organization's mission that truly sets its course. Today, we're launching the first ever link between an organization's mission and the work that powers that mission. With our new goals feature, executives and team leaders can set goals and track their team's progress toward achieving them. Goals as OKRs done right. Now companies have a single system to set goals and manage all the work needed to hit them. We can't wait to share more about goals today. With this latest product release, we've completed the pyramid of clarity, and our customers now have a map to achieve their missions. That's where we are today. Now let's talk about the future. We've been asking ourselves big questions about the future of work. Like, why doesn't every team member have perfect clarity about how their work contributes to the organization's mission? How do we eliminate distractions and create more time for focus and flow? Why is it that consumers have an app store, but teams don't have a workflow store? Well, today we're going to show you our answer to those questions and more. Our vision is to become the navigation system for your organization. In the future, Asana will provide turn-by-turn directions to help you find the very best path to reach your goals. To give you a glimpse into our multi-year product roadmap and the future of Asana, I'd like to introduce our head of product, Alex Hood.
Like Dustin said, we're creating a map of how work gets done, helping you and your team navigate your way towards your mission, giving you the most up-to-date information about the road ahead. We're broadcasting this event from the SF MoMA one of the most innovative museums in the world, and an Asana customer. Due to COVID-19, SF MoMA has been closed for months, and the team is distributed. But this hasn't slowed them down. They continue to work towards the organization's mission of engaging a diverse range of audiences through art. Today, you will see our vision through the eyes of the SF MoMA. Imagine that the museum is creating their first ever virtual exhibition that will expand its influence far beyond these walls. Throughout today's presentation, we will show you how in the future, individuals have fewer distractions and a greater focus and flow. Teams are going to spend less time in meetings and more time creating together. Entire organizations will be aligned, engaged, and connected to their mission. Let's start with one individual. Meet Joan, an exhibition manager at the SF MoMA. Joan will bring SF MoMA's virtual exhibition to life and introduce the world to the remarkable photographer Dawood Bey, who has used his camera to depict communities and histories that have largely remained underrepresented or even unseen. Let's see how Joan achieves greater focus than ever before in her work on this project. Today, you and me and the other 1 billion plus knowledge workers in the world start our day in a sea of distractions. We are turning this chaos into clarity. Asana aggregates Joan's tasks from all the tools that she uses every day and presents her with a single, clear list. The prioritization of this list is based on an algorithm that takes into consideration organizational goals, team timelines, and her individual objectives. From there, Joan can make a plan for her day based on her intentions. Imagine a virtual assistant who helps you align your attention with your intention. And she sets her intention to tell Dawood Bey's story. Once Joan identifies her intention, something amazing happens. Asana tailors her calendar and organizes her day for her. It finds the right balance between meetings and work. And now, her calendar and her to-do lists are in harmony. Joan dives straight into her first task, conducting research on Dawood Bey. And when Joan opens this task, Asana pulls up all the information, the context, and the tools that she needs to get this job done. In this case, it's a collection of Dawood Bey's photography to review. To get our best work done, we need to maximize our focus. This is exactly where focus mode comes in. In focus mode, Joan sets her preference so that she's only alerted to messages and updates that are relevant to the work that she's doing right this minute and her team's top priorities. With only highly pertinent messages coming through, Joan can get into the flow of her work and get so much more done. With each task that Joan completes, her teammates can see and celebrate her progress. Each person on the team can see the work in any view that they prefer for the Dawood Bey exhibition. Whether it's a Kanban board, where they can drag and drop their work and track it through multiple stages, or a timeline view, where a team can plan and meet deadlines, or a list view, where everyone can see who is doing what by when, and a project can be broken down into its pieces. And the team doesn't only use Asana to track its work. From where art is currently located to when new pieces arrive, data on every gallery asset lives in a powerful database. Transparency and clarity help teams stay coordinated in their efforts to achieve their organization's mission. We can't wait to help you get out of all that work about work and turn the chaos of your day into clarity. Now, to talk about how teams will get more efficient with Asana, I'll pass it off to our global head of product marketing, Dana Barrett.
Thank you, Alex. Collaboration is essential, but without clarity, collaboration turns into too many meetings, too many calls, and too many back and forths. But with clarity, teams and organizations can be more effective and make progress against the shifting priorities that many of us are experiencing today. I would like to introduce you to Deborah. Deborah is the head of art operations at SF MoMA. She's just getting back from some time off. Today, that would mean an exploding inbox and deep uncertainty about where to get started. But when Deborah gets back on Monday, highlights, shows her what she's missed, and makes intelligent suggestions for how she can get caught up. Through her highlights, Deborah sees a task that the museum just got 2 last-minute artist confirmations for the virtual exhibition that Joan has been planning. This will increase attendance at SF MoMA's first ever virtual showcase, but it does mean triple the work for the distributed team. Deborah needs to update her team on this change ASAP, but she doesn't just want to tell them about this change. She wants to inspire them to see what this opportunity will mean for the entire organization. Imagine if, rather than scheduling another boring meeting, Deborah creates a visual conversation that captures her enthusiasm for this update. Automatically, Asana transcribes and parses out any action items Deborah has mentioned and converts them into tasks with assignees and due dates. Next, Deborah opens the Dalwood Bay project and sees that Joan has done a great job of moving things along while she's been away. But she gets an alert that one item is overdue, confirming the digital strategy. Deborah writes a comment to Joan to discuss the digital strategy, and Asana makes it easy for her to communicate with the right context. For example, Deborah gets suggestions on important information to include in her communication, like a link to the project itself. Let's fast forward to Deborah and Joan's sync with the digital team. We cannot wait to replace tedious, boring, and unproductive meetings with a new way to sync: huddles. Huddles have specific agenda items, clear goals, and they only last as long as is needed and not a minute longer. With huddles, it's like Deborah has a virtual assistant who finds the perfect time for her and Joan to meet with the digital team. The assistant not only schedules the meeting, but also uses artificial intelligence to create a tailored agenda. Everyone can participate in the huddle from wherever they are. No one needs to take notes because Asana automatically transcribes the entire conversation and converts action items into tasks. At the end of the huddle, Deborah takes a photo of the whiteboard. Asana, once again, automatically converts any additional action items into tasks. Next steps and responsibilities are clear. Now the team can start to tackle this new challenge. To take on this ambitious project, the team needs to redesign their workflow for mass scale. Today, workflows take time to create, and we often don't get them right. Imagine if there was a workflow store that teams could use to find the right workflows to tackle any project. Just like the app stores consumers use today, Asana will create a workflow store that will share best practice workflows from category leaders and third-party developers. What company does a great job of getting amazing content out to a massive scale of viewers? That's right, Netflix. Deborah and Joan can use a best practice workflow from Netflix, and then they can tailor it to SF MoMA's needs. Now, SF MoMA has the right workflow to launch their virtual exhibition. From creating content to publishing web pages, it's all there. And guess what? No code was required. Now, let's put this workflow into action through the Asana Hub. The Asana Hub intelligently automates workflows across all of SF MoMA's tools. This creates true end-to-end automated workflows that the entire team can track, regardless of department or location. For example, Once a member of the content team approves the content for the draft web page in Asana, a real-time integration with WordPress triggers the draft page to publish, and a Salesforce integration is activated to send out an email to all of SF MoMA's members announcing the upcoming exhibition. Handoffs that would have taken multiple meetings, pings, and emails are now intelligently automated. Nothing falls through the cracks. This is a true transformation in the way teams work together today. In summary, Asana makes collaboration easier, powering teams to be more effective. Now, I will pass it off to one of our product pillar leads, Paige Costello, to talk to you about how our future tools will impact the entire organization.
Thank you, Dana. Leaders, you know that two things are key to your organization's success: alignment on your strategy and your employees' commitment to and enthusiasm for that work. Unfortunately for most companies, the two are disconnected. You've seen it. Company goals get shared in a slide deck, but they're not tied to the work. So team members are left in the dark, not knowing how their work ties to company goals. And we wonder why employee engagement isn't as high as we'd like. But picture a world where you could unite these two parts of your business and achieve your mission with an engaged team. Let's see this in action, starting first with the goals feature that we launched today. Meet Colleen, the executive director of the SF MoMA. With our new goals feature, Colleen can take SF MoMA's strategy and operationalize it with OKRs. Now, every team member can see exactly how the organization is progressing towards the mission in real time. Everyone will know what is happening by when for each goal, which projects ladder up into each goal, and the specific tasks and people that will bring that project to life. This transparency creates alignment because each and every person can see how their work is creating impact. Studies show that when people feel passion for their work and understand the purpose behind it, they work smarter and they deliver more. This is why Colleen has all managers use Asana for one-on-ones. Through one-on-ones, the relationship between the work employees do and the company goals that work supports is crystal clear. This cements a sense of purpose behind each task and helps managers recognize and reward individuals for their impact. In Asana, Colleen can see the real-time results of her team's work and see how they're tracking towards their mission. Status reports of the future practically write themselves in Asana so that Colleen can keep track on everything that's happening without chasing down information from her teams. Today, Colleen's teams already update status reports in Asana with charts and graphs from their projects and portfolios. With this information laid out so clearly, Colleen can understand what's going on across projects and exactly where her help is needed to keep things on track. Asana flags a capacity issue that may prevent the exhibit from going live on time. Based on the creative team's anticipated workload, they'll be over capacity with the 2 new artist editions, putting it at risk. But imagine if we didn't just flag issues, but helped find you solutions. Asana suggests 3 different solutions: adding resources, adjusting the timeline, or redistributing the workload. With intelligent suggestions, Colleen can take care of the issue before it gets out of hand. Colleen chooses to work with one of SF MoMA's preferred agencies. Asana provides the agency the details they'll need to get started and ensures that the agency only has access to what it needs to get the job done. Now, with the agency's help, the project's back on track. Colleen has clear visibility into the bandwidth of every team at the SF MoMA. And that visibility isn't only for team capacity, but also individual capacity and the workload of the organization at large. With SF MoMA's balanced scorecard, Colleen and the Board of Trustees can see exactly how they're progressing towards their goals. When leaders bridge the divide between organizational strategy and employee engagement, there's nothing that can hold them back. For SF MoMA, this means making the art of our time matter and sharing exhibitions like that of Dawood Bey with passion and purpose, opening minds not only within the walls of the museum, but around the world. With Asana, you can navigate the challenges of work and find the way forward with your teams. With that, I'll pass it back to Alex.
Today, our teams are hard at work to make this vision a reality, where individuals have more time for focus and flow. Teams operate with greater efficiency and human connection. And every single person in the organization has clarity on the organization's mission, its objectives, and how their work ladders up. Well, let's take this a step further. What if such organizational alignment spanned outside the organization itself? What if organizations could unite around a shared mission for the greater common good? Imagine if a global organization named Arts United International could create alignment across galleries and harness the amazing work of SF MoMA and so many other great art-driven institutions to connect more people to art around the world. The future vision of work that we have addressed today can become a reality through Asana. Here at Asana, we have created the work graph, which connects team members to each relevant unit of work, information about that work, and a view of how it all fits together. This powers teams to operate with clarity and alignment and accountability up, down, and across your organization. And it gives organizations a navigation system, guiding them in their path towards their mission. What fuels us is your mission, whether that's creating beautiful eco-friendly tile, protecting our oceans, creating sustainable living spaces for generations to come, building the best personalized AI for everyone's wellness, or forging a path to a justice system that's fair to all. Our mission is to help you achieve your mission faster. That's why Asana exists. And that's why we are all so passionate about building the Asana of the future. Thank you.